And now, my people, it's your guy, the Nigerian Englishman, and we are here on Round of the Ground with my co-host,
Kanebi, aka Mr. Go Ball, Go Ball, Go Ball.
And what a weekend of football it was. African Player of the Week last week, the winner with all the votes was Alex Iwobi, and he continued his great run of form this weekend with a screamer, a 25-yarder against Manchester United. Unfortunately, his team ended up on the losing side, but big up his progress this season. Well done, Super Eagle, Alex Iwobi. Everyone knows where the football started though. I know it was on a Sunday and there was some games on the Friday, the Saturday, but the biggest game of the weekend, Arsenal versus Liverpool, and that ended 3-2 to the Gooners, back to the top of the league.
Manchester City, of course, they hammered Southampton 4-0, and you know the monster, the Viking, had to be on the score sheet.
Abracadabra, Alakazam. Was Todd Bowley right? Is Graham Potter the man? Casting spells all over Stamford Bridge right now. Back-to-back victories. 3-0 against AC Milan in the Champions League and a 3-0 victory on the weekend. Is this the new Chelsea or just a new manager bounce?
CR7, 700 goals in club football. The winner against Everton. This man, he keeps on getting greater.
The GOAT is back, as they say. Bundesliga was a bit entertaining as well. It was a great game. Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich took the lead 2-0 up. They were coasting. Second half, it changed up the whole game. What happened was they conceded one. Then Kingsley Coman got sent off stupidly. But with the last kick of the game, they just had to hold it for a few seconds. Equalizer, 2-2. Dortmund, they're always going to be Bayern's nemesis, it looks like.
Union Berlin, still top of the table. Even if they lost away to Stuttgart, Union Berlin still standing strong on the top of the Bundesliga table.
When it comes to League, there's not really much to talk about when it comes to Liga. It's the Messi, the Neymar, the Mbappe show. But this weekend it was about our Niger boy, Murphy. Came up with a brace for Lorient, winning the game for them, looking really, really strong at the top of the scorers charts in Liga. He's joined by Mbappe and Neymar, so he's definitely in good company. But PSG, they drew the game 0-0. Ramos doing what Ramos does all his career, another sending off. But they drew 0-0 and they're still at the top of the league. What do you do?
Los Clueless, Barcelona, winning on Sunday against Celta Vigo, another 1-0 victory. And of course, Real Madrid bounced back with a victory against Getafe. La Liga is hotting up. It's a two-horse race right now and it's looking very good.
It's always a two-horse race when it comes to La Liga. But in Serie A, I don't know what's happened. AC Milan won the league last year. Inter Milan won the league previous to that. Before it was dominated, it was a monopoly with Juventus. Now, anything goes. Napoli are having a wonderful start to the season. They're just blowing teams away, whether it's the Champions League or Serie A, they're blowing teams away. Another great convincing 4-1 victory against Cremonese. Unfortunately, my Italian side, Juventus, which we're going to go into a lot more detail a little bit later, Fikayo Tomori on the score sheet. Very, very incredible defender, doing great things since he's moved from the Premier League to Serie A. I don't know what's going on with Juventus, but another coach needs a special mention. The Udinese manager, Andrea Sottil. He won every game in September, and those results include a 4-0 win against Jose Mourinho's Roma, a 3-1 win against Sassuolo, and a 3-1 win against Inter Milan. Very, very impressive, man. Great results for Udinese.
Great result for Udinese, and the Serie A keeps on hotting up.
We know the game of the weekend. Liverpool against Arsenal, or Arsenal against Liverpool, however you want to call it. They keep moving the goalpost for this Arsenal side. They've not played a good team yet. Then they played against Tottenham. They beat them. They've not had a proper test yet. They played against Liverpool this weekend. They got pegged back twice, and they still took the 3 points. Kanebi, talk to me about this game. Like, where was the game won and lost for? Won for Arsenal, but lost for Liverpool.
The game was won for Arsenal when they won all the 50-50 balls, when they started early, when they attacked the right side of Liverpool's defense. Arsenal played the clever game on that day. They were not scared. They took advantage of the fact that Liverpool cannot defend. And Liverpool didn't come to the party. Yes, they scored 2 goals, but where was Salah? Where was Diogo Jota? after Luis Diaz was out of the game, they stopped playing football.
I can tell you exactly where Salah was. Apparently, as soon as Tomiyasu got home, emptying his pockets, Mo Salah just popped out. It was crazy. He stayed in his pocket all game. And to be honest, as a fan of Arsenal on the weekends, not for the show though, but on the weekend I'm an Arsenal fan. And I was a bit worried about the Tomiyasu decision because I thought Tierney could maybe do a job. But he pocketed him and then it allowed Martinelli to really attack Trent's wing.
What we saw from Arteta was a tactical maturity. People questioned his decision to play Tomiyasu as a left back, but it worked out. Tomiyasu is a player who uses both feet. He's a good defender. I mean, he's solid. He doesn't push up when he needs to. You know, he calculates his moves. And against Salah, he was brilliant. He didn't let Salah have his sniff. I didn't see Salah throughout the game
At all.
till he was substituted. And for me, that shows the versatility in these Arsenal players. The fact that they are ready to play in any position when called upon.
So let's talk a little bit about Arsenal because I believe there's two standout players that have really taken them to another, or have gone to another level, and that's Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. First of all, Martinelli's added assists to his game as well as more composed on the ball, and Saka, I call him big game Bukayo now because every single top six side he's scored a goal against. Ever since that miss against in the Euros for England, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's dealing with the pressure week in, week out. And you could have picked so many other members of that team that maybe it's a pressure game, it's a pressure moment, the crucial penalty. And remember, it took so much time before they actually took that penalty. Comfortable as you like, put it away.
Like I said, Arsenal is known. If you look at Arsenal's DNA since the Wenger days, they are known for giving young kids a chance. And I'm not surprised the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martinelli are carrying this team because that's what Arsenal has been about. The young players stepping up. And Bukayo Saka, he's a phenomenal player. He keeps getting better and better. And Martinelli this year, oh my God. Martinelli,
he's unplayable.
He's looking unplayable. He's quick. He's good on the ball. He scores. He crosses. He finishes. I mean, what more do you want from a player? And this boy is just 22.
It's true, man. And as much as I want to just keep praising Arsenal
Is
as
he
well.
22 or younger than that? I think
He's 22. He's coming on to 22 at least. But I would say one of the big reasons why we won this, why Arsenal won this game, is Jurgen Klopp. I don't know, as a fan of football, I appreciate what Klopp has brought to the Premier League. But is it the end of an era?
You can't really say it's the end of an era. I would say the team just needs to be revamped. Because when it comes to teams that have won trophies before, I mean, they just won 2 trophies last season. They played 63 games in total. They played in every competition, every game they were involved in. And I'm sure there's a little bit of hangover going on this season.
Sure.
And the truth about the matter is, Man City went out and got new toys. Chelsea went out and got new toys. Arsenal went out and got new toys. Even Man U got some toys. Liverpool only got 1 toy.
Bruv, they got 2 toys. They got Arta, which they said they did it. Klopp came on to TV and told everyone, we don't need a midfielder. They lost a couple games. Oh, we need a midfielder now. He went out and spent 90 million on a guy that's only had 1 really productive season in Europe. He had the money to do other things. He decided to go with Nunes.
Yeah.
Isn't he to blame for this?
I think also you can't. Liverpool's problem for me, they're an old side. They play high intensity football, rock and roll football. Players over 30, can they keep up? That's the problem. The intensity is too much for these guys over 30 to keep up. You're going to kill them.
I strongly believe, although I'm blaming Klopp for the current situation, I do believe he does have enough credit in the bank for him to find his way out of this situation.
It's going to be tough.
But my issue is his stubbornness going to prevent him from coming out of this situation? Because everyone in world football can see that Trent is getting targeted. Sub the guy or protect him with an extra centre-back. He needs to do one of the two because he's just going to keep getting killed week in, week out.
Like I said, when Trent was Trent, you had a very good, vibrant, intensive midfield. Now they don't. You don't have the Wijnaldums. The Henderson has slowed down. You know, the Keita is not available for you to protect that boy. So now Liverpool failed to revamp their midfield. They kept Keita, who is injury prone. They kept Milner. They kept Thiago. Thiago gets injured all the
Chamberlain's still
time.
there, Ox is
Javier
still
is not ready. Ox gets injured all the time. It tells you a lot about Liverpool's story.
But that's what we're saying now. This time last season, everyone was
Luis
talking
Diaz is
about
now
them.
injured for 8 weeks.
Bro, they were talking about Liverpool having potentially the greatest Premier League team ever. And now they're struggling for top 4. So viewers, I have a question for you before we move on. Can Liverpool even achieve Champions League football this season? Let us know in the comment section. But moving on for other Premier League news, we had the GOAT. He answered the call. Martial got injured in the game. Everyone was nervous. Oh, Martial's injured. We have to play Ronaldo. Can you imagine Man U fans saying we have to play Ronaldo? That's ever a negative. 700 goals. 700 league goals. What are we talking about here, bro?
There's nothing else to say. The man speaks for himself. Like he's one of the best ever footballers of our generation, of all time. And for me, I think Manchester United have been very disrespectful towards CR7. CR7 should have at least come on to contribute to their campaign because he's full of goals.
Yeah.
If they won most of their matches, in fact, all their matches last season they won was with CR7. So what's the problem this year?
I don't understand.
So I don't really understand. And CR7 scored the winner. It just shows you that without CR7, if CR7 didn't come on that game, it was going to be a 1-1 draw, or Everton could have won.
And you hit the nail on the head right there. One thing that you can guarantee with CR7 is goals. Goals, goals, goals galore. And I don't know if you remember, early on in his career, he wasn't really that prolific. He was very much a taking on player, setting up crosses, etc. But I don't know if you remember in La Liga, I think it was maybe his 3rd season in where he just said, you know what? I'm just about the goals now. Messi's won 2 or 3 Ballon d'Ors after my one. If I'm going to get a Ballon d'Or, I need to be getting my numbers up. And he just became an assassin, always in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So, like,
well, we still have a new assassin, though, in the league now.
who be that?
You know now.
Like, he's not human. We don't even need to talk. We talk about him every week, so we're going to have 1 week off talking about this guy. He's not human. You know who you are, man. You know you're bullying this Premier League.
He's making it look easy.
Very easy.
15 goals already.
But enough about the Premier League. We got to talk about the old lady, bro. The old lady of Italian football, Juventus. And I know you're like me. You grew up watching Football Italia, and watching the Italian league, and watching the greats like the Contes when he was a player, the Del Pieros, the Baggios, the Vialis, there's too many players to talk about. And they went on a run of, I think, 10 Scudettos in a row. They were really dominating that league, and now they're a shadow of themselves. 9 games this season.
9 in a row.
Is it 9 in a row? Sorry, 9 Serie A's in a row. And yeah, Inter came to run up that dance. I think Conte did that.
Well, the old lady's looking really old right now. And what more can I say? I think Juventus is suffering from not really keeping up with their rivals. The likes of Inter Milan, AC Milan, Napoli, they've all gone young. Juventus still have the likes of, they just got rid of Chiellini. They still have the likes of Bonucci, Alexandro, Danilo. They still have the old guard there. And to be honest with you, they have Cuadrado too. To be honest with you, everybody has found them out.
But I don't know if it's the old guard thing. I just don't think there's a plan. Because after Allegri left the first time, they decided to get in Pirlo. As much as I respect him as a footballer.
They got Sarri.
Sarri, then Pirlo.
Sarri, then Pirlo.
Then Pirlo. As in, those are both un-Juventus-like decisions. I don't understand why you go for being at the top and giving someone like Sarri, who's never won a league title, a chance. He did win the league, though. But then Pirlo, unproven with all these problems to fix at Juventus. And now they brought back Allegri after taking a year sabbatical, but he looks lost now too. Like, is it the case with Allegri, the same thing people were saying about Jose Mourinho, that his style is just dated?
It's outdated. I mean, you have to, like I said, the old lady's looking old. They play very old style. They don't play the pressing game. They don't run much. You know, it's still the same old Italian game. Sit back, keep it tight, try not to concede, score the odd goal, and go home happy. Football has changed. Everybody's playing on the front foot now.
That's real
You
talk.
can't come and play that negative style of football and expect to win the Scudetto. AC Milan is playing well. Inter Milan, they have not been so good this season. You look at the likes of Lazio, Napoli, Roma, they're scoring goals. Because the Serie A right now is about scoring goals.
And the league is wide open.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely
I mean,
wide
you have
open.
had a different winner in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So what are we saying?
And it looks like we could potentially have a different winner this year with Napoli tearing up the league. But
Yeah.
for
With
me,
attacking football.
what's happening at Juventus is really, really upsetting. I mean, they've had 9 games this season, only 13 points. I think they're 8th in the league or something like that. So there's one shining light. Vlahovic is still scoring, but do you think sometimes he goes home and thinks, maybe I should have made that move to Arsenal in January?
I'm glad he didn't.
But who knows?
Graham Potter seems to be turning things around at Chelsea. 2 wins back-to-back, one against AC Milan, another one against Wolves, 3 goals in both matches, and he's looking solid defensively. And Aubameyang too is looking like he's part of the mix now, and he's changed his keeper. Kepa is now the number 1 keeper for Chelsea. They're looking good, they're looking solid, and the play is getting better. Compared to Tuchel, the football was too dry, pedestrian.
Look, I hear what you're saying, but in terms of Tuchel's early Chelsea were playing some decent football, creating chances. Let's not judge Tuchel off the last 3 months of his Chelsea tenure because they were horrible, terrible. But also, let's acknowledge that this new manager bounce is real. Because although the front men for Chelsea are scoring now, I've not seen enough games of Potter for me to say, he's actually changed things. So let's give it like maybe 5 more games, and then we can analyze him and all his hocus pocus.
Yeah, but
tricks.
so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good. I'll give you
He's won
that.
3 games.
Look,
He's beaten Crystal Palace away. He's beaten AC Milan. And he's beaten Wolves.
putting points to the table is definitely the thing, but I'm going to hold my judgment into if Chelsea are playing
He has already
better
played 4
just
games,
now,
bro, and he has won 3 out of 4.
I said after 10 games, we'll analyze
Yeah,
it.
move from
I
5 to
hear
10.
you. 10 games.
It's all right.
Total.
It's all right. It's all right. Partey after Partey.
Yeah.
Partey is right now a very consistent midfielder for Arsenal if he stays fit. I mean, right now, I don't see any African midfielder that is playing better than Partey. Maybe Kudus comes close, but Partey he's a midfield general right now. To me, he's the best defensive midfielder right now in the Premier League.
Facts. And I don't think anyone can debate that. The Arsenal team look completely different when he's not in the side. They look like an exceptional force when he is in the side, and we've seen him from the last 2 games against Tottenham and Liverpool. Also, another African on fire. We had Alex Iwobi. He won African Player of the Week last week. He scored another screamer. To be honest, I don't want to talk about him too much this week because he did have a mistake leading to a goal, but his all-around game against Man United was very, very good. Also, continuing his form in Serie A, Ademola Lookman, another goal for Atalanta, 2 goals in 2 weeks, doing really, really great things. And I think that will massively improve him for the Super Eagles when he comes to international
I
duty.
hope so. And let's not forget Calvin Bassey, who scored his first goal for Ajax of Amsterdam in their 4-2 win against Volendam. And Calvin Bassey, he's growing into this role as a left back for Ajax, and I hope he gets better. He's a young player. He has a very huge potential and a huge future ahead of him. And let's wish him the best of luck in his career.
100%.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we've got another Super Eagle. Don't think we're biased to it. It's just how they perform. It's just how it goes. West Africa on fire. We have Terem Moffi scoring a brace in a Lorient's 2-1 win over Brest. He's got 8 goals in 10 matches, and he's up there with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe, so he's definitely come on leaps and bounds this season. So we've got Thomas Partey, Alex Iwobi, Ademola Lookman, Calvin Bassey, and Terem Moffi up for the African Player of the Week. Don't forget to vote on our Twitter page, #REDTV.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to announce the winner on next week's show.
Yep.
Oh yeah, now there you have it. Another great edition of Round on the Ground with your guy Kunle, aka the Nigerian Englishman.
And Kanebi, a.k.a. Mr. Go Ball, Go Ball, Go Ball.
See you next week. Feel the heat. Let's go.